What's up, everybody? This is the Board Certified Gaming Podcast, the video game podcast hosted by two guys who have the perfect faces for podcasting.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know.
I
It's
like that one.
yeah.
That was better than last week's.
So you don't even know what we look like, but
We're good looking.
assume it's the perfect face for
It's
being
like-
in front of a microphone on an only audio platform.
It's like if Leo DiCaprio and Matt Damon had a baby.
And then that baby just like got in a car accident.
Oh,
We're ugly.
okay.
Well, I'm ugly. Amar might not be ugly.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
I'm ugly. So I'm Andy, if you didn't know that already. Amar is here as well, because I
Oh.
already mentioned his name. And this is a podcast where we talk about video games. Especially in this time, video games are all we have. Everything is canceled. From events to sports to even like good television. We're running out of stuff to do. But video games have always been there for us, and even they can substitute for other things in our life. I remember reading an article that this one guy made a talk show in Animal Crossing just because like
Really?
just because late night sucks. So he's like, yeah, I just like created a studio and then like have guests that like are actual people, and then I like talk to them and then like sit on the couch and then like their legs sway because that's what Animal Crossing does.
It's like, what do you think about the lowered interest rates in Nook's
Yeah.
ABD machine? I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, so it's like, you buy any fashions recently? Like, what new Able Sisters are you wearing? Like,
You could do like a local news report with Animal Crossing.
yeah,
Just be like to the weather channel. It's like today it's gonna be raining. You're gonna be able to farm some koala.
it's gonna rain
kids.
for like 5 minutes, and
It-
then it's like gonna snow probably, like just because.
Able sisters are in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So video games are substituting for a lot of the things that we used to enjoy. Big one is sports. So there
Oh,
are
sports.
very few sports. Some are coming back.
Bundesliga is coming back next
Bundesliga,
weekend.
I heard that. Yeah, Bundesliga. There's UFC. There's golf is coming
Was
back.
UFC suspended?
No, it's back. Like he was gonna try to come back and like we're gonna have an island that we're gonna do fights on for the international fights.
They have a
or, like,
pay-per-view every month. Did they?
they're still doing it.
Did they? Okay, so they were doing one with like just no fans.
I think they're doing no fans. They're
So does like some guy's jaw cracking sound even louder?
probably like I'd like to think that a punch to the face, like with nobody else making noise, like
instead of, like,
cheering them on, is
You
gonna.
hear like a loud.
Oh my god! Like you actually hear them like screaming in pain. It's gonna be interesting. But sports are like there's video games are even helping with sports too. There's NASCAR, but it's iRacing. So these guys get like video game setups and then they race like in an online simulator of NASCAR.
And then sometimes they say racial slurs.
And sometimes they say the N-word. And somehow it's worse than regular NASCAR. Like it's more
I would
boring.
argue that it's more interesting.
You like it better than regular NASCAR?
Well, yeah, because I don't have to look at the fans.
I guess you don't you, but you know who's watching. You have a perfect idea of the kind of people this is for.
Well, I'm one of them, so I can't talk.
Yeah.
In that moment in time, I am a NASCAR fan.
So while video games are trying to give us some kind of relief and release and entertainment, enjoyment throughout this entire time, sports, we miss them a lot. And these video games are going to try to do their best. But over the recent years, for probably a long time, these games just have felt they get stale really easily. There was a time where we were younger. Obviously, we're very old now. There was a time where there were just countless sports games to play, like tons. And now they're just not that great anymore. Like there's only a few, and the few ones we have are just not that good. So we're going to kind of go into that phenomenon, what we think is going to happen, why it is that way, is there anything we can do about it? So, but first we're going to plug some stuff. Check out our Twitter at BCG Podcast, not BCG Magazine. That's something else. They keep tagging us in stuff. We appreciate you guys, but we're not you. You are not us. You're probably a lot cooler than we are and have a lot more credibility behind you. I don't know. Like, keep up the good work, but fix your Twitter tagging. You keep tagging us. At BCG Podcast on Twitter. At Board Certified Gaming Podcast on Instagram for the visual people who like to look at stuff. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BCG Podcast. And all of our episodes and links and stuff can be found at boardcertifiedgaming.com. Not .net or .org. We're not from the government. boardcertifiedgaming.com, BORED. All right, now we're going to get into it. So every year, basically around the same time, you understand, oh, the new Madden's coming out.
Yep.
The new FIFA's coming out. The
Hell
new
yeah.
NHL game is coming out.
Oh yeah.
Amar is a huge FIFA aficionado. You have, let's see, one, two, three, all of the FIFAs. You've had
Most. I've
pretty
played
much damn near
most.
all of them.
Yeah. Since first one I played was FIFA 98.
FIFA 98. Wow, that's a long time ago.
I played FIFA 96, but the first one I actually dabbled in was the 98 World Cup version.
Yeah. So like this is
every year
spanning
since
what?
20 years.
20 years of FIFA. So that's a lot of FIFA.
We're going on almost 30 years of FIFA.
We are old as
in
hell.
another decade.
Yeah. So, and I'm particular to Madden. A little bit of 2K. I am awful at it. But
yeah, I'm not good.
Yeah. All of my friends like to take advantage of that fact. And they would always kick my ass no matter who I played with. I would be like, sure. I remember playing 2K all the time. And I had the sideways cam. So the camera was on like the sideline.
Yeah, and that's like not the 2K
And that's
way.
awful. Like, and I was like, why is this so hard to like go in the corner and
That
like
was like
shoot?
the only way I like to play.
I hated it because then once I figured out like how do because I play as myself a lot and I
Right.
just have to control me and I'm like, why can't I have this camera but like for the whole team? And I didn't know how to figure that out. So everybody's just kicking my ass every single day.
Doesn't it default to the
It
2K
doesn't.
setting?
It didn't for like a couple years ago.
Really?
It was like you have to switch it to the 2K camera.
That's weird.
And I was like, God, am I just awful at this? And it's like, no, I didn't switch the
that would have been
camera.
the default.
Now I think it is.
Yeah,
but
now it just goes to it because every time I've played 2K, I was always like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like before it was just this sideline cam, and I'm like, I can't see anything. My shots are garbage. Like stealing is awful. Like I can't play defense because I can't see.
And I've
And
got
then
the
now I can.
sliders turned down. Why am I losing?
So like I still am a very bad 2K player. And Madden is my game. I have one sport game that it's like, you know what,
That's
I
all
can
you
play
need.
this. At hockey, I can kind of figure it out. FIFA, I am terrible. Amar kicks my ass every single time.
Oh, I'm very good at FIFA.
He's very good. I am very bad. Like I am very, very bad at FIFA. And sports games have kind of been a mainstay throughout our whole life. I mean, we were born and Madden existed. Kind of. Like it was still like
when was the first Madden?
I think it was we'd have to look that up, but I remember like Madden 97 or something like that. But
I want to say like Madden 95.
something like that.
John Madden Football 1988.
Okay,
yeah,
so
right.
that was like old school, and there was Tecmo Bowl. There were all these other sports games that were like look like crap, but that was the technology at the time, and there even are mashups of the videos of these games, like for the 20th anniversary of FIFA or something. They probably had okay, here's FIFA through the years. Here's what this looked like when you started, and then here's what it looks like now. You can actually tell that these are people. You can actually give them faces and some kind of emotion and tattoos. So it's interesting to see the development of they're adding tattoos into the games, and that's kind of like, well, you're using my likeness and stuff. You owe me extra money if you use my tattoos for like tattoo artists and stuff. They're like, that's my work, and you're putting that in a video game. You owe me money. So it's just an interesting thing to see, like, the graphics have enhanced so much that that's actually a problem. Like it's a technology that we can use in animating tattoos on people, but then all the tattoo artists are like, but that's my art. Like I didn't think that would be a place we were at back when I started playing Madden or any other sports game back in the day. But the problem is now, and I guess it's been kind of a downward spiral. I don't know what caused it or started it, but these games are starting to be bad. They are not good. The features that they have are just either lost on me. I don't know if it's me or like people are liking it, but there's Metacritic scores. All these other like review scores are bad. They're getting worse. Some are like the worst since like 2000, which is a long time
for
ago.
like all games specifically?
Pretty much. I mean, even like Madden 20, it had a lot of people buying it just because it's the new Madden.
Oh,
It
yeah, everybody gets
updates
Madden.
it
It's like
updates
Call
the
of Duty.
players,
Yeah.
but it had a Metascore of 76, which is the lowest since 2000.
Oof.
Yeah. That was, I mean, these games are not bad by any means. They do the job. They're not going to replace actual sports or maybe even playing sports. Like, I think I'd
They
rather
are
play
having esports with these now.
Yeah, like I think what gives them a little bit of popularity is that they are more in a competitive realm. There are like, we can watch pro Madden players, pro FIFA players, FIFA streamers, all these people that are just like the best players on the planet. And that's how like, well, I want to get like that. I want to. Patrick Mahomes is killing it in the NFL right now. I want to be able to just play, go 4 verticals every single play of the game and just throw 70 touchdowns.
Did you
Like
see he's excited for the new Madden 20?
I did. He was on Inside Xbox and he
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, Madden 21's coming.
Surprised his girlfriend
cool.
didn't jump out and make an ass of herself again.
Probably.
She didn't. I was waiting for it.
Oh, well, I'm sure she's making an ass out of herself somewhere else. Just not on that one. She probably wasn't there.
There
She's
was a
like,
schedule-
it's over. I was going to make an ass out
There
of
was
myself.
a scheduling conflict.
Like, you should have told me when you were going on the camera. I would have.
Or maybe he broke up with her after he got a Super Bowl ring.
I think so. He's like, I'm aiming high now. I won a Super Bowl. So, like,
Yeah.
what have you won?
He's like, you won a ring?
I'm also won an MVP. Like, what have you won?
Right.
Like, I date winners. So NBA 2K, 2K20, the most recent one, had a Metacritic score of 78. So a little bit better than Madden, still the lowest since 2000. Like all of these games. FIFA 20, I mean, dipped below 80 for the first time since 2000. Like,
That's just because people are pissed with Ultimate Team.
yes, which is a big thing, I think, that people...
Pretty much the only reason why I buy FIFA every year.
Which it's weird that that's the point of contention. Like people hate it for Ultimate Team, but like a lot of people are enjoying it and playing it.
Well, they just hate it because like it's such a fucking money grab. Like you got to spend so much just to get really good players.
Yeah, which unfortunately becomes
That's why I buy the
problem.
Ultimate Edition every year.
Yeah, like people see all these streamers or pro players like have the best squad, and it's
But
like
also somebody just hands them a dump load full of money, and they're
here's
like,
$1,000 worth of Madden points. Just go buy the best team you can.
You're gonna get Aaron Rodgers like 10 times.
Yeah, he's not even the best quarterback.
Who is?
It's like
Tom Brady.
It's like legends or like 99 overall, like old
Mike Vick.
Yeah, Mike they always replay. They're like, oh, it's the 2004, 2003 Madden version of Mike Vick, who was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Just completely trashed everybody, and they always bring him back in the next Madden. And people are like, well, I know who I'm using. I'm just gonna run all day with him, and nobody stops him. And then it gets boring. It gets so boring because it's like I'm trying to do it the old-fashioned way without paying hundreds of dollars to try to get the best team possible because I don't care about it that much. But it's like I want to still have a good team, and I don't want to have to just grind on these stupid challenges or play like in tournaments and stuff. And there are also review bombs, so people are probably voicing their opinion on these games a little bit more than they were back in 2000. But that's a thing, so we have to take those, I guess. Take the review scores with a grain of salt, but it is kind of pointing towards they are getting worse, and people are not liking them, especially from a critic standpoint. Back in the day, there used to be a ton of different games. I remember even just for NFL, NFL Street, NFL Blitz, NFL Fever, 2K had an NFL game. There was backyard football. Like there was all these other games that you could play and that used like NFL players or used the game of football. And it's like, these were awesome. Like I could play NFL Blitz and then go to NFL Street. And I'm like, they're even kind of the same kind of game, but they're awesome. They're all awesome.
NFL Blitz is great.
NFL Blitz still is great. Amar has a Dreamcast, and I really want him to get NFL Blitz, so we can throw down, like go buy a copy.
Should I do 2000 or 2001?
2001.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just go as new as possible?
I think so. Unless 2000 is cheaper, then go for 2000. They both hold up.
Oof.
So back in the day, licenses weren't really as, I'm going to get heavy on legal stuff. There were a lot of licenses that all of these, like the NFL, the NBA, MLB, was just handing out. They're like, hey, you want to make a game? Sure. Hey, you want to make a game? Go ahead. You want to make a game? Have fun with it. But now we're getting to more of the longer deals, the exclusive deals. They're like, yeah, we want to make games for you, but we want to make games over the next 10 years, just us, nobody else. Because whenever there was 17 different football games or 7 baseball games, they're all taking the same people. And they're like, people are probably going to pick one. They can't all have the same baseball game. We did because we had a couple. We're like, these are all fun and I like the sport. But there's people who can only pick one. And if they're trying to buy, everybody else is horning on each other's action. They're like, hey, you're all my competition. So I'm just going to negotiate with these publishers. And it's like, okay, we just want one game from us and no one else. And that's it. And then these giant deals came through and they're like, you know what? These are millions and millions and billions of dollars even. EA was like, you know what? We get football. We're going to make football. No one else can, which is bonkers to me. Like the NFL doesn't own football. It owns the NFL, which is a league.
Right. Because they had what was it, like the NFL 2K?
NFL 2K, yeah. It was,
and then it was ESPN 2K.
Yeah, ESPN
so
2K.
2K had their own series for a while.
Yeah. There was NFL Game Day, NFL Fever, NFL Blitz. Like it
NFL
was,
Fever, I remember for the original Xbox because I had a demo of like NFL Fever 2003.
yeah.
And I used to always play as the Patriots because Adam Vinatieri was just
He
unstoppable.
is a goon kicker, and he's still going, trying
Yeah.
to. I think he's going to retire. But the whole point was that all of these games existed, and so we could have multiple ways of playing a football game. Now we get one. You better like Madden, or you're not playing football. NCAA doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Which hopefully it comes back, but that's a whole other, like, paying athletes and getting likenesses and stuff.
Yep.
That's a whole different thing. But you get Madden. If you want to play football, you play Madden. That's it. If you want to play baseball, you play MLB The Show. That's it. You want to play basketball, you play 2K, or you play NBA Live, which is garbage. So don't play NBA
NBA
Live.
Live used to be good.
It used to be good.
Like
It
the
used to be
early
the other way.
2000s?
2K
Yeah.
used to be bad.
Yep.
But then they flipped. It's so weird that now it's like 2K is the ultimate like game, and then NBA Live is like trash. And they tried to revive it. They tried so hard, but it's so terrible. They gave it away for free.
I think they're still making new ones.
Yeah.
Or planning to.
I remember that I was looking online and I saw, like, I was just looking for games to buy, and I saw NBA Live 17, and this was, I think, in 2018 or 2019, for free. You just had to pay for shipping, and you got
Yeah.
a physical copy of NBA Live 17.
Oh yeah, it's always like a month or two after that game releases. You can go into a GameStop like
it's
bargain
trash.
bin.
Yeah,
It's like a buck
not
or
even
two.
worth the materials it came on.
That's like the only game. Like GameStop is notorious for you buy a game and then the trade-in value is down by like $20. NBA Live is down like
Yeah, the whole
90%.
entire cost.
You go from I bought this game for $60 and you try to trade it in for $2.
Yeah. So back in 2005, EA was cut the deal with the NFL to get exclusive rights to NFL. You could
How long is that deal for?
I have no idea. Probably 20 years or something like that, or even longer. I can look that up, but it doesn't really
And
matter.
they're probably going to keep renewing.
They're
it.
gonna, yeah, they are making way too much money to try to
Yeah.
have any. Like, imagine if EA lost it and like 2K was making football again. They would have to convince everybody else that this is also still a good game. You should buy it. We know
They couldn't use the Madden name anymore.
they couldn't. Like, they couldn't use Madden. They'd have to
That
use.
guy's up there in age.
He's getting old. He's probably gonna die soon.
84, 85. I hope not.
I mean, he's making billions from Madden. His name
Yeah.
is everywhere. So it's
Yep.
like if whoever was going to get on that game, like they could have called it Lombardi football and they still would have been paying.
It doesn't ring.
It doesn't ring that well, but it's like if it was anyone else, we'd like, that's where we would be now.
Brady 2K30.
Maybe.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, I also remember EA Sports.
it's in the game.
Like I remember that's
Yeah.
brings it's so many memories because
Brady 2K Sports.
yeah.
Who
It
cares?
did, yeah, because I remember playing all these other
back to
random ass
basketball.
games, and it's like, I in 2005, I was 11, like 10 going on 11. I
No,
had-
like close to 12.
I had no idea
Yeah.
that this was a license thing. Like I don't remember the day that it switched, but it's like 2005. That doesn't feel like a long time ago.
I
That's
didn't even know
15
who
years
most of
ago.
those players were. I was just like, football.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, they just must have stopped making these games. But when you dilute the amount of possible games out there, you better make it right, or your game is going to be bad and the only one that's bad. And then if nobody has any other option, they're not going to come to you anymore. They're going to find something else to occupy their time. So these companies, with this new technology that's coming out in the Xbox Series X, the Xbox X, and the PS5, the Persona 5, I mean, you better get it right. You have probably the most computing power you have ever had in a small little box you can throw in your living room and connect to your TV. There's 4K, there's all this other crap, but somehow these games are like the same every year. It's amazing. Like they keep adding the shit that we don't need. They keep making these stupid game modes directed by directors and have all these mocap and actors and stuff. Idris Elba's in NBA 2K20, and I'm
Is
like,
he?
yeah, he's
For
like he's your high school coach who becomes a coach on the team that you get drafted by, and he didn't play you in the championship in the tournament. Or no, he's your college coach, sorry, and he didn't play you in the tournament because you
does
like
he reprise his
disobeyed
role as
rules.
like Charles Minor from The Office, where he's just really tough and like mean.
He's a tough guy. He's like, I'm not going to play you because you disobeyed rules. And then like you show up to your first day in the NBA and he's your coach. And you're just like, well, fucking great. Now I got to deal with that.
I'm totally gonna start. I'm gonna pick that up on Game Pass and make my character Jim Halpert. And I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna take the Bucks to
You
their
have to
first
deal with it.
championship in years.
Yeah. Like it's it's weird. I don't know. I can't remember the year they started making those little like snippets and like, we're making a video now. You're in like a movie. And it's like, I don't care. I just want to play basketball.
Yeah.
Because like there's all this extra shit. Now you live in a loft and you need to answer your phone. It's your agent. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just want to play basketball and win a championship as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Like I want to
And
just
as
shoot
many
threes
times
all
as
day.
possible. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like all I do is like pull up and shoot threes anyway. So I don't care that my mom died in a car accident. I don't care that my friend is trying to have a rap career. I really don't give a shit. And it's really funny to me how no matter what you look like, they have one voice. One voice. And if I make the whitest dude ever, he's still going to try to sound like he's hanging out with a bunch of black friends.
Yep.
And he's just like tries to like talk like, hey, what's up, man? Like, how's it going?
Like a suburban kid that thinks he's from the hood.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know a couple of those. And so it's like whenever these game companies thought people wanted, they're not giving them that. They're giving them what they think we should have instead of what we actually want. We want a good game that looks as realistic and plays as realistic as possible. Not like a bunch of all this shit. Like Madden pissed me off. I returned it just because there was, because there was a bunch of shit that I didn't want. It took 17 minutes to try to navigate the menus, and it's all this like flashing like lights and Gatorade colors and stuff. I'm like, I just want to get in, play football, maybe do some Ultimate Team, but Ultimate Team is all like fucked up because it's just all these weird menu options. It's just completely stupid.
Well, I know with FIFA too, like their main competitor is Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer,
yeah.
Which that one, like gameplay wise, is a lot better than FIFA. It's a lot more realistic, a lot more slower paced. But the problem is they only have licenses for like 4 teams.
Yeah, so they don't
so
get
like
the
they
big
have
player base
Manchester,
that FIFA does.
they have Manchester United, but Manchester City is Manchester Blues.
Oof.
Chelsea is London Blues.
Oof. That's
Liverpool
tough.
is
Everybody's
Liverpool because
blue.
they have the license. Yeah. Some of them are just named after the city, but like have a random crest. Like Wolverhampton Wolves are just Wolverhampton like Y.
Yeah.
Or Wolverhampton B. Something
Dogs.
weird like that.
Wolverhampton non-domesticated dogs.
They have the actual players in the game. They kind of look like them with their like last names, not their first names, like full names. But yeah, like EA's just eating up that market in terms of licensing.
They probably have a really sweet lawyer team. So they're just like, yeah, we can negotiate these deals and get them done before we even think about needing them. So it's like, yeah, our license could be just infinite.
Well, now these motherfuckers have Star Wars too.
Yeah, they're just getting everything. They're huge. And they're like, okay, you guys want loot boxes, right? No, we don't. All right, how about some loot boxes? We heard you loud and clear. Loot boxes it is.
More loot boxes.
But no, we don't want loot boxes.
No,
I heard you loud and clear. More loot boxes coming your way. Here you go. Like we get that they're making millions and millions of dollars off of idiots, basically.
Hey.
I
am one of those idiots.
Okay, you are semi an idiot. I'd have never bought any kind of Madden or FIFA points.
I need Ronaldo.
I know. You have never gotten Ronaldo.
I will get him.
He has been in the leagues for like how many years? Almost a decade and a half or something.
I'll get him one day.
Maybe. Yeah, by the time he's like a 75 overall because he's garbage.
He's going to be one of the legend cards and it's going to be rare.
Oh. Yeah, like he's going to be 99
squad building challenge for him. It's going to
or we're going to have to become like popular streamers or something and just get handed thousands of dollars and then maybe I'll buy some FIFA points.
I could just destroy my credit, open up a credit card and just max it out.
There you go. I'd like to take out a loan. What for?
FIFA points.
FIFA points.
A
house.
What was the point of this? I have Messi on the left wing. Do you not see his pace?
Yeah, like
it's a team of the week Messi. I needed it.
100 team chemistry. You can't just buy that. I guess you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think that you could just go anywhere and be handed a footmas like it's like the FIFA Ultimate Team Christmas?
FUT-miss.
I didn't know if you knew.
Footmas.
You think you could just get a footmas like Serge Gnabry, just
like those things grow on trees?
Yeah,
They don't.
Do you think Kevin De Bruyne is just in a bronze pack like that, where you can only buy it with in-game coins?
I mean,
I don't fucking think so, bud.
Video games, even sports games, like the outer rim of sports, like SSX hasn't made a good snowboarding game in a while. Like
they were SSX in a while.
They were awesome games, but they don't make them anymore. There's not like, I don't know if there's a snowboarding league or anything. Jet Set Radio is like skating. That's kind of cool. That's like
skate games.
Skate. They don't make skate anymore. They're making
Skater XL.
Skater XL,
different. But it's not like the EA, because EA, the studio that was making Skate, closed down.
I think so. Which it's tough to get the rights for that and like all the trademarks.
But one
and
of
stuff,
the developers tweeted like Skate 4 years ago, and we haven't heard anything since.
Yeah. So it's all these games they exist. We want them, but they're like, who's gonna buy it? We don't have the money. We don't have like EA can negotiate all these fucking things, but they can't figure out who has the rights to skate and buy a skate game,
Amped was
right?
another really cool snowboarding game.
Amped was
Cool
great.
borders.
Yes, I mean,
Do you remember a game called Two Extreme?
I
They had sequels. It was like
I
Two
think
Extreme, Three
think I
Extreme.
do. I remember there was a snowboarding game where you have weapons.
No, so Two Extreme and Three Extreme was like on the PlayStation, the original one, and it was like a mix. Like it was a racing game, but you could like snowboard, mountain bike, skateboard,
I
like
think I
all the
remember
stuff.
that. I
It
think I
was
actually do.
oh
I
man.
think I remember that. I know there's a couple other games. There was like you are in it's like death snowboarding. You have like a board with a nail in it and you got to hit people. And there's also like motocross games where you're like on a motorbike. Like there's all these other games that happen, but now they're just not around anymore. And the games that we do have suck. So
Yeah, like
especially in this time,
this was Too Extreme.
I think I
So it's
remember.
like
Oh yeah, I remember that. I 100% remember that game.
yeah,
I
this one
remember
was
those hitting those tires all the time.
Three Extreme I played a lot
Yeah.
of.
So
I
these
don't think they were critically acclaimed by any means, but
all we really have are whatever the company's going to put out. And if you want sports, because there's an off season for every single sport. Every single sport's got about 3 months where they're not participating
something
in
like
any
that,
game.
yeah.
So what are you going to do if you want your fix? It's just happens like it's almost a coincidence that usually every August, which is the NFL offseason, a Madden comes out. And it's like once the season starts, then it updates your Madden. That was done on purpose. And it's like you keep playing until the next one comes out in August to get ready for the season. I'm assuming 2K is the same way. I'm assuming FIFA's kind of the same
Yeah,
way.
FIFA's like about a month into the season,
Yeah.
like end of
So they can
September.
update the cards, so they can add
Yep.
more stuff. It's like it's
Get any
all
last
planned
minute
out.
because the transfer window ends at the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
So by
Yeah.
the time they release the game, if they have to make any last minute changes, it's available. Because Madden comes out like right before the NFL season begins, but I think is trading still going on by then, or is it like done?
I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't played in a long time. I would assume it is
I
still
think
going
by
on.
then it's mostly done, but I remember that one Madden where Brett Favre was in a Packers jersey, but then you could print out when he got traded to
To the
the
Jets, yeah.
So you could print out from EA's website, like
Yeah.
the insert.
You might, yeah. Which one did you get? Did you get the one before they started changing up the prints, or did you get the new
Right.
one? Yeah, it's. I mean, they have this all planned out. They know what they're doing, but they know that they are not taking enough consideration into making these games the best. They need to make it a little bit different so they can have something to mention if they go on these press conferences and say, "Well, Madden's out. It's the same. We haven't changed anything. We brought back an old mechanic from 2005 that everybody doesn't remember. But here you go. It's a weird story. Like I remember like Madden '07 or something. I played that a lot because it was all like, all right, you get drafted, you're in your room, and you just like go to the practice field, run practices, or go to the games, play the games, rise up the Hall of Fame rankings with all your stats. If you want to trade, you just call the agent, hey, I want to trade, boom, and you get traded to a new team. And that was kind of it. You just kept playing and playing years until it's like, well, what do you want to do? You have 8 million rushing yards because you basically cheated. So it's unfortunate that, especially in this time where we don't have sports, that sport games are failing to kind of fill that void of
Right.
sports. I wish I have EA access. I wish I could go to Madden and be like, this is going to satisfy me with if football doesn't happen. If football doesn't happen, I'm fucked because Madden is not great. FIFA,
Now you're just playing for the achievements at
yeah,
this point.
now it's just like it's something to do. It's football, but they don't update the players because this is old Madden. Like if I get the new one, they don't really know how these players are going to be good or be able to update it if there's no season. So it's just really interesting. 2K bores me because there's every single mode is annoying. And like my team, I'm never going to do it because that's like it's their version of Ultimate Team, but it's worse.
Right.
Like the only one that seemed kind of interesting is 2K PGA Tour 2021.
I'm definitely gonna pick that
That
up.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was always
It's hard to fuck up a golf game.
it is like all it is the same courses, just like
How nice can you make them look?
yeah, maybe because golf club was cool. I remember playing that a lot and being like kind of decent at it. Tiger Woods PGA Tour, but then when Tiger started beating people up and cheating on his wife, then it became Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, and like people don't care that Rory McIlroy's in it, so they're just like, let's make 2K PGA Tour, and it's like if you can golf these places, I think that game's going to be interesting. It's just golf is not something that I feel like playing all the time, and nobody really wants to buy a golf game nowadays.
I do.
Well,
It's been a while.
other than us, I'm
The
saying.
last time I enjoyed a golf game was Tiger Woods 12, but that's because that was the first time they included the Masters tournament.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I
Which
don't
it's
know.
all licensing too. They
You
don't
might
get.
not know this, but I actually am a pretty big fan of golf.
Well, yeah, I am
I
too.
fucking love golf.
I do too, but it's like picturing all the sports games out there. I think golf and maybe hockey or probably cricket are going to be the games that people play the least.
Correct.
Just like as
Well,
taking
hockey, the NHL series is pretty popular,
Well,
but
I'm
it's all
saying
like the weird
golf
niche,
is
like
probably the
lacrosse,
worst, and then hockey of the main sports is probably down there.
like lowest selling. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just these games at a time when we need them the most, really, they're not living up to what we need them to. And with this new technology coming and they're having all this computing power, are they still going to suck? Are we going to have to actually take some look at it and say, okay, you guys are actually not making these games good. You might need to lose this license. Give it to somebody else. Like there might be a public outcry for EA. Please stop making Madden. Have somebody else like come do it.
Or at what point do they just release one game?
Yeah.
Like every few years, like take the Battlefield approach where they just slowly update it. Because realistically,
all you do is change the characters, or change the
they
figures, which you can do anyway.
They fine tune some of the gameplay
a little bit. There's only
not a dramatic.
There's only
difference.
so much fine tuning you can do to where it's like, yeah, now you're just over tuning it.
Right. If all we're gonna play is FIFA Ultimate Team, you might as well make that a free to play game mode.
Yeah.
And then just load it with microtransactions.
Madden Battle Royale.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like EA is huge, and it gets very negative reviews from a lot of people because of its business practices. Not always the most, not always the right moves that they make, not always the consumer friendly moves. They're always kind of trying to make a buck, even though they have billions of dollars. And just like the Star Wars license, I want them to lose that, because then if everybody can make Star Wars games, there's going to be a lot of good Star Wars games.
True.
If only one person can make Star Wars, if only one person can make Star Wars games, they're going to come out slower. They're going to be bad. You're stuck with the one you got. So I think obviously there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of legal things behind all these licenses, and can they get out? Does it really benefit them to get out? They're making billions of dollars with this license, so why bother? They don't really care if Joe Schmo likes their game as long as people buy it, because it's the only one out there. It's kind of a monopoly, but technically anybody can make a football game. They just can't use any of the NFL logos, any of the NFL players, any likenesses, anything like that. You just have to have Super Mega Baseball, which is an awesome game.
Sweet game. Third one's coming out this month.
I think baseball is probably doing it the best. MLB The Show is very good. It's a very quality game. And also, they're not hogging everything. You can make a baseball game which is generated dudes. All you got to do is have a mechanic that you can swing and hit a baseball,
right?
Which is what Super Mega Baseball does. It adds comedy, it's cartoony, it adds powers and all these other cool things. I enjoy it. It's easy. Whereas if I want to play MLB The Show and I want to see Christian Yelich hit a baseball, smack a dinger with Ryan Braun,
dingers.
I can do that.
Mega Baseball rips dingers.
Whereas Madden, there was so many different football games that it's I don't care even if my players are in it, as long as I can stick a G on that helmet and it's you could get some kind of football from it, that was fine. Right. Now it's you better like Madden or you're screwed. So we're just hoping that these publishers and developers, at least hopefully this license ends so they can just be anybody that if 2K starts making NFL again, and if NCAA football can come back and they're we're going to make NCAA football games again, then it's we have other ways to play football or play sports. I keep saying football just because I'm
But unfortunately
prone
for that,
to football.
It's going to take some time.
It is. And also they're making too much money to stop now.
Yeah.
Because
it's been 5 years since the last EA PGA game.
Yeah.
And then now 2K21 is
which
coming
I think
out,
they got the license from the PGA.
Right. It'll most likely come out later this year, I would assume. Yeah. But
the only thing we can hope is that another company gets big enough, if 2K gets big enough, that they're hey, because technically NFL can license more than one game unless the license itself is an exclusivity license, and EA is no one else can have this, which benefits EA. But if it is a license that technically you can go license this with someone else too, then we could technically get a 2K football game or a 2K FIFA game, kind of like Pro Evolution Soccer has, but you won't get the same kind of depth. That's why PES has only a couple teams. It's whatever the team's saying, like, yeah, we'll be in your
They
game.
focus more on the fine tuning
Yeah,
of the
of
gameplay
soccer,
as
of
opposed to
playing it,
as
instead of
opposed to
like, oh, well, you can play as your team.
correct.
It's like, okay, but what if people just want to play the game and
What
have
if
it
my
be a
team is
good
not in
game?
here?
Which do you prefer? Having a kind of okay game, but you can play as all of the Premier League teams, or a game that's probably better gameplay and gave better mechanics, better fine tuned, but you can't play as, your favorite teams.
Right.
I would prefer the latter. Like if there was a football game that didn't have the Packers in it, but it's like I'm enjoying playing this, like NFL Street, I didn't give a shit.
Super Mega Baseball,
Yeah,
like you mentioned earlier.
that's a perfect example. I don't give a shit what the
Like I
teams
loved
are.
MLB the Show. Like I hate watching baseball on TV, but I love it in person and in video games.
Yeah.
I spent hours playing Super Mega Baseball 2 when I got it free.
So
And I'm probably gonna pick up this third one like when it's on sale and play the shit out of it too.
It's very entertaining, and that's all we want. We just want to be entertained, especially at a time where sports don't exist anymore until they come back. So we just hope that the microtransactions kind of take a little bit of tone it down a smidge, because it's kind of your only business model. Like that's the only thing you make money off of, because people are going to buy the game and then you just charge them a bunch later. Like then you're just going to keep doing that because it's the, money printing machine go brrr, like
Right.
that's all it is. Like, which we in this room with 2 microphones aren't going to change a ton, but we hope they do, because we enjoy sports. We enjoy sports games. We've been playing them our whole entire lives. We just want them to be better. If they start to get better, then maybe this is less of a problem. I'd be more willing to overlook microtransactions if the game was super fun and not a super confusing light show.
Yeah, not just concerned about my wallet.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's your team, but you have to unlock all this shit, or it's not good, or you're gonna
I have
just
to pay
hate
$5
playing.
to unlock this player.
You're gonna hate
maybe,
playing
and then pay another
online.
$5 to renew his contract to use him.
Yeah, it's like it's super annoying. Like I just want it to be the game, because
Right.
it's like I'd rather watch football on TV than play the current Madden. And it's like make it. I don't even care if it's the graphically like it gets worse graphically. Make it a more fun game to play.
Right.
I don't expect you to be lifelike. You already are enough. Lifelike football is watching it on TV like happen in real life. Like, I don't know, maybe make it VR or something. Like, make it kind of cool.
Bring back the front-facing camera from ESPN 2K.
If they make an NFL Street game, I'm going to shit and I'm going to play it.
Yes.
Like, that's what I want. I want options. I want to, like, if I don't feel like playing legitimate football, I want to play NFL Street. I want to play FIFA Street. I want to play NBA Street. I don't want to play if I feel like playing basketball, but not like, well, you have to sit through all the commentators and they're like, well, hey, I'm here at this Madison Square Garden ready for the game of the New York Knicks. It's like, I don't care. Like, just put me in the game and play. Like, I don't want all this stupid shit. I just want to play the game, because it is now, especially now, sports don't happen. And I don't want to watch iRacing or Korean baseball, which is another one that's out there.
Well, at least Call of Duty League is on this weekend.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing.
something.
If esports, I guess, are going to be big, then that's going to have to substitute for regular sports.
Fine by me.
I'm not there yet. I'm not like, oh yeah, esports is my sport. Like, I'm not there yet.
It's something to watch.
It's something, but I mean, sports got to get better. Sports games have to get better before sports come back, because that's 100% not going to be a good substitute.
Nope.
And people are going to start to notice, just like with WWE games, they're like, well, shit, these games suck. So we're going to have to go. And they went kind of like a cartoony like version of it. I don't know what's exactly called. I think it's WWE Battlegrounds or something. The
like
new
that.
one.
It's an arcadey bullshit.
It's like an arcade game, but they realized their WWE games weren't selling well because they were very bad. So they're like, we'll take another spin on it and hopefully get some people to be interested in it.
We'll
I
see
don't
how
know
that
if
goes.
people are, but maybe like that might behoove another like EA to do that with Madden, if, like NFL Arcade, or they had Madden Arcade or whatever it was. That was pretty interesting. It was quick. It was like 4-on-4, whatever. NFL Street, everybody would love an NFL Street that comes back, or an NBA Street,
Oh yeah.
or a FIFA Street. They have those modes in the game now, but it's like, if you want to make this a whole game, that's fine too. Just something other than the one game you have. Because if it's the one game you have and it's bad, they're going to start going the other way and say, okay, well, then I don't like this football game. I'm done with Madden and football altogether. I'm going to go check out baseball or check out an RPG or something. There are plenty of games to play, and if you're only providing one and it's not good, people are going to notice. So that's our episode for today. We hope you guys enjoy this. We'll see you next week. Follow our Twitter at BCG Podcast, Instagram, Board Certified Gaming Podcast. Go check them out. We will see you next week. Go play a sports game, and you'll see what we mean. Stay inside, stay healthy, all that other fun stuff. Later.
Peace.